Hello. Let's talk today about magnesium and testosterone. I guess you could say performance and activity, motivation. I guess they all could fit in there. But I was looking at a study online and they were talking about muscle performance being evaluated. They were using some parameters like grip strength, lower leg muscle power, knee extension torque, ankle extension, isometric strength, and they normalized everything for the age and body and even the sex. And so all the results were positive on the effect of magnesium on the levels of testosterone on this basis, this experiential basis, which I found very interesting. Going straight to where you can sense that, it reminded me of this study they did on rats one time where they fed them liver, and then they fed them just general diet, and they watched how long they could swim. And the one group swam 10 times as long as the other before they started to drown or whatever, and they pulled them out. So these type of studies are very basic, but these are the type you want. You don't want all these bazillion of parameter studies, because we're starting to learn that most of the studies, this is the editor of the Lancet himself saying that half of the studies are conflicted and fake. So conflict of interest. So we want to get away from that and find stuff that appeals right away to our sense of observation, and not try to over-heady everything and academify everything and try to make it into some sort of unbelievably smart this, that, or the other, when we're missing the key piece of it, which is how we can understand things in a simple way sometimes. Now, it can be complex, but simplicity has a beauty to it as well. So yeah, that was interesting, and some of the stuff that's taken away from the article that we wrote, that I wrote on the site, theheartoftradition.com. These are some studies that were done, and there's about 5 different conclusions here. Magnesium releases bound testosterone and makes it more bioactive. This happens because the mineral inhibits SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, the molecule that binds to free testosterone, making it unavailable for receptors. So therefore, it's not available to be used as testosterone. And 1 gram of magnesium is sufficient to increase free testosterone levels by 24% in combination with intense exercise. In a study of 400 participants, researchers found that in older men, elevated levels of serum magnesium via blood analysis correlate with higher levels of testosterone. And then another study, the results, one of the results, there was a sentence that said, there's evidence that magnesium has a positive influence on anabolic hormonal status, including testosterone in men. And then another study, in this study, the researchers found that Gittleman syndrome, which causes imbalance in magnesium and calcium levels, often results in delayed puberty in young boys. This delay in puberty would probably be caused by low levels of testosterone, caused themselves by low levels of magnesium and calcium. So we have this hypogonadism, we have this kind of connection there to testosterone, magnesium, and strength, and of course libido, performance, but also training and building of muscle and everything else. We know well that testosterone converts muscle and strengthens it and tightens it, and even converts fat into muscle. And so this hormone is a missing feature in today's society, because a lot of the food has been contaminated, and so it's hard to get like that bright red steak from like a non-soy fed animal. These days, it's just so hard. Even grass-fed is like kind of, sometimes you don't know how they've used some sort of supplements, canola powder, canola oil, soy oil, certain things which go around the legislation, but still affect the endocrine disruption and get the cows big. So because we don't want to come down to these smaller animals like they have in Europe, we're kind of trapped into this kind of how do we sell more with, how can we go from having a certain amount of money per cow to like cutting that in half and survive. So it takes a big risk and kind of a precipice to come down off of. But anyway, so that was what came up with the testosterone. And I also know that walking helps testosterone production, like long walks, and then the food, like I said, if you can find amazing red meat, if you can find The problem with most red meat is it's not any good. So if you can get soy-free, order from farms. If you have to, Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, Mennonite, whatever Amish you have to do to try to find something which is soy-free and done right. The fresher it is, the better. The higher quality it is, the more it can handle a little bit of probably freezing. But freezing something that's at a bad quality, you're not getting the vitamin out of it anymore. You'll get the proteins, but you won't get the vitamin. It'll just be kind of. So anyway, there you go. That's it. As far as the magnesium that I recommend, we always recommend Transdermal Magnesium from Zechstein Inside in blue glass bottles, because this is the only magnesium in glass. There you go. It already shows the sign of quality. They're not using endocrine disruptors, and it's not just the glass, but the glass is quite important when it comes to such a key mineral that's going to over 800 processes in the human body, to have it not be attached to these plastic particles that leach into it. And then also, there's a lot of fake Zechstein, genuine Zechstein, unauthentic Zechstein, named true Zechstein. They have all these labels, but it's not real. The only real Zechstein out there is Zechstein Inside logo from Vindam, the city in Holland from which it comes, and the only and original source. So don't be fooled. Find the logo, and it's only $3 a week, so do it right. Come check us out at theheartoftradition.com.